Are we doing it? I think we're doing it. All right, hello everybody. My name is Corey Motley. I am doing my first ever YouTube video. I've never filmed a video like this before. So what I'm gonna do today is a look with the brand new Urban Decay electric palette. And by brand new, I mean not really, because it was discontinued when I bought it in 2016. So you actually can't get a hold of it anymore. However, I mean, there's other colors out there like it. I guess it has a lot of, as you might guess by the name, it's called the electric palette. It has a lot of nice electric colors. Focus, there we go. So I'm not really aiming to do like something that you can like recreate beat for beat at home. Basically, what's going on here is I have been listening to the Full Coverage podcast for about maybe a few months or so. And they have a Facebook group that is pretty incredible. It has like 3,000 people. This is not like an ad or anything for their page. I mean, I'm like a nobody, so this is totally irrelevant. But I do makeup looks sometimes, and I just post them on their group. And I've had a few requests, most notably from Susie Nightingale, so thank you for that, to do a YouTube video. And I don't really like want to do this, like to be frank, because I kind of hate looking at myself, and the idea of looking back at myself to edit this entire thing sounds really nightmarish to me. But, you know, it's not about me, it's about the makeup, and I'm not on here trying to like get famous or whatever, because like who gives a fuck. I just want to kind of show how I do makeup. I've been watching YouTube videos for a long time. I'm not a makeup artist, I'm not trained, I'm not anything. I have zero training in makeup artistry. However, I do watch a lot of YouTube videos, and the thing that I value about the YouTube videos that I watch is that I actually watch a lot of trained makeup artist YouTube. Like, I started watching Pixi, Sam and Nick Chapman, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. It seems like it was just a few months ago, but it's been so much longer than that. And I recently, in the past maybe like 3 to 6 months, found Lisa Eldridge. I don't know how it took me so long to find Lisa Eldridge, because she's absolutely incredible. But for some reason, you know, YouTube algorithm is bullshit, and she never showed up on my feed, and I never heard of her before. So I found her, I watch a lot of her videos, I watch a lot of Pixi videos, because they're actually like trained makeup artists, and I know you don't have to be trained to do good work in makeup, but I value the opinion and the technique of people who are trained over those who aren't trained. And something that I really like about Lisa Eldridge and the Pixi channels are that they're not like, they just get on and they do their makeup and they leave. You know, they're not about like the drama or the tea or whatever the fuck's going on in this like hellscape of a beauty community. They just get on, they do the makeup, they teach you how to do the makeup. They're not always raving about the newest and whatever products are out. They don't do a lot of paid videos. I don't think Lisa Eldridge ever does sponsored videos, but Pixi does. You know, some ads every once in a while, but I trust their judgment. They're both adults and professionals and trained makeup artists. So, yeah, so basically I'm going to stop talking because I've already been talking for about 100 years, and let's just get into it. How about that? Okay, so I'm going to do a look with the electric palette today. Sorry, there's my camera. There's one softbox. There's 2 light bulbs with a t-shirt over them acting as a softbox because I'm a clever lighting technician. I'm going to do a look with the Urban Decay electric palette. This is my favorite palette. I'm going to do a look with, I'm basically going to put this color, this is Savage, it's hot pink. I'm going to put this all over my lid and really smoke it out up to my brow and out. If you're familiar with anything I've done before, you know I do big, smoky, blown out eyes. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to put Urban, which is this beautiful purple. I'm going to put this in the, kind of like smoke it out on the upper lash line. I've done this look before. This is my first video, so I wasn't really sure what to do, because I usually just do big, messy eyes. So I'm just going to do this. It's a 2-shadow look. It's pretty simple. I don't think I'm going to work any other shadows into it. I might bring Jilted in, which is like kind of a pink, purple, almost like a duochrome. So I'm just going to do those, and we'll just kind of go with it and see what happens. Like I said, I'm not trained, so every time I do makeup, I feel like I end up looking okay, but I never feel like I know what I'm doing as I'm getting there. It's just kind of like me like fucking around and hoping that I get somewhere. Usually I do. I don't always get there, but we'll see what happens today. So I'm going to take my glasses off, obviously, because I can't do eyeshadow with glasses on, right? Okay. I'm going to prime. I have this Pixi Eye Bright primer. I don't really know if it's like any good. I just use it because people on the internet tell me to. So it's got this kind of like spongy... Oh, I get to do this now that YouTubers do. Look at me. Where is it? Come on, focus. There we go. It's got this kind of like spongy thing, and it like squeezes out the top, almost like a lip gloss in a sense. But usually I just... My mirror, by the way, the camera's here, my monitor is here, my mirror is here. So I'm going to be looking down at the mirror as I do this. So I'm sorry, I'm going to be like a little bit out of frame for this. Usually what I do is I just kind of paint this on my eye, and then I smooth it out with my finger. This is not rocket science. I just kind of smooth it. Usually I try to bring it pretty high up because I have hooded eyes, I usually smoke shadow like all the way up like through my brows and everything. So basically anywhere I think I'm going to have eyeshadow, I try to put it there. So I'll put it all the way up to my brows, not covering my brows, but just kind of into it. I try to bring it out to the sides over here. And then, because I usually do some lower lash line stuff, I'll just stamp a little bit around here. And then I'll just kind of smooth it out under my eyes. Kind of out like that. I'm actually just going to prime one eye because this is like a test video. So I'm just going to prime one eye and just kind of see what happens. I don't want to promise the world and the stars here because this might not be how that works. This might be garbage. So I'm going to start with, I use a lot of Real Techniques brushes. This is the, what is this called? This is the medium shadow brush. Boom. Hello. Hello. Medium shadow brush. I really like, if you didn't know Pixi Woo, Sam and Nick Chapman, they work with Real Techniques. It's their brand. They don't own it, but they like are very heavily involved in it, and they design all the brushes as far as I know. I love this brush because, as you can see, it's pretty fucking large. I love it because I tend to just put color all over my eye, and it's perfect for just laying down everything. I also use the tip to blend stuff out. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to take Savage, and basically, I'm not going to like show you how I dip into the shadows because, I mean, we're all adults here. I just dip in. Usually I get like quite a good amount. I only do it on one side of the brush. I've got a little napkin over here on my computer desk. I'll just tap off a little bit of the excess, and then I just kind of go for it. I'm going to try to make this so you can see a little bit better. And then I just kind of start putting it on. I just kind of pat it on. This color is very vibrant. I love it. I actually only have like 4 eyeshadow palettes. I know everybody on YouTube has like 600. I have 4. The Urban Decay Electric is the first palette I ever got. I was really interested in it because Sam Chapman from Pixi Woo did a green eyeshadow look a long time ago with it, and that was kind of like the moment that I fell in love with beauty on YouTube, because I used to not be really interested in makeup at all, but there was something about watching her put makeup on that was just really incredible to me. I also find makeup really relaxing to watch people do on the internet. Something I like about Lisa Eldridge's videos is that she's so soft-spoken. She's a really incredible voice, and just her whole temperament is really like calm and cool, but she like knows what she's doing, but she doesn't make a big deal out of it. And that's the kind of temperament that I'm like in love with whenever it comes to just people in general. Okay, so I've got kind of a lot going on here, maybe kind of got it everywhere. I'm actually gonna, so what happens, because I have hooded eyes, so as you can see there's a lot of color going on up here. But as soon as I look, is that how it looks? As soon as I look straight at the camera, pretty much all of that disappears because I have hooded eyes, which means the space, my lid space, is basically disappears whenever I look straight forward. That's what hooded eyes means. And I feel like men, I don't want to generalize here, but men tend to have hooded eyes because our like brow bones, or like our brows stick out really far. Like it's just like skeletal structure. So what I'm actually going to do, because I want to, I mean, look at this pink. I want to see this. I don't want it to hide under my lid. I'm going to take it up and like out, like all the way out. So I'm gonna like take it all up into my brow because I don't have time to put on this eyeshadow if nobody's gonna see it. Am I right? Like who has time for that? So I'm just gonna continue to kind of stamp it on and stamp it on the outside and really just kind of start blending. I realize also that I don't really do makeup like a lot of other people on YouTube do it. A lot of people they'll lay down a transition shade first, which means that in your crease you put like a mid-tone shade to kind of define and contour the crease, and then you work on the lid with another color, and then you work like a brow bone highlight into the top just underneath the eyebrow. Well, because my eyes are hooded, I don't really do the brow bone highlight, because if I'm looking straight forward, all you'd see is the brow bone highlight until I like look down or I look around or whatever. And honestly, I don't wear eyeshadow on a daily basis, so like I don't really care as much about like the rules of makeup or whatever. I just kind of throw it on and have fun. I mean, really. And the sad thing is, like, I don't really wear makeup like out very much. I just kind of put it on at home for fun. Like I said earlier, I'm a photographer, so I do like to take pictures of the makeup once it's finished. You know, I like to just pretend like I'm an editorial photographer. So it's cool for me to like kind of practice those chops of like somewhat editorial photography and then do my own makeup. Actually, someone that I know from back home recommended the other day that I get into like boudoir photography, which is not something I wouldn't want to do, but they also recommended that I do the makeup for it. So like I could be my own photographer and makeup artist, which I think is kind of a fun idea. I don't know if I would ever actually want to get into that, because I suffer pretty badly from like imposter syndrome, where I feel like even though here I am putting on beautiful makeup and I'm doing like okay at it, I never feel qualified enough to like get paid to do any of this stuff. So I feel like it would be a really hard sell for me to be like, oh, let me go pay me. Who wants to pay me to do their makeup and take their pictures? But that's just kind of something we deal with, am I right? Or am I? Am I right? I don't know. Okay, so as you can see, I've got like, let me look at my monitor real quick to make sure I know what I'm talking about. I've really taken the color all the way up through my brow, and I let my eye shape kind of dictate how I do my makeup. So like my eye shape out here, I have like if I'm looking straight on into light, I have like a natural shadow out here on the corner of my eye where my protruding brow bone kind of casts a shadow down here. And I basically just use that shadow as a guide to put my makeup on. Like I'll take the brush and I'll like kind of get it up. I kind of press it up into that shadow, and it kind of creates that like outer kind of smoky wing for me, which I guess is pretty cool, because a lot of people struggle with that kind of thing, but because I just kind of have that shape, I just kind of go for it and just like let my eyes be the guide. Because that's like the thing about hooded eyes is like a lot of people kind of get sad about having hooded eyes because it's like a less desirable physical trait, because like you want the eyelid space, or at least I feel like women or men who wear a lot of eyeshadow want the eyelid space, because then you can see the work you've done. It's like doing a painting on a canvas, but you have to like lift up a sheet to look at half of the painting. Whereas if you don't have a hooded lid, your painting is just on full display all over the place. So, but I just kind of try to make the hooded eyes work for me rather than against me. And in order to do that, I fucking blow all the shadow way up, which is ridiculous, I know. Like, this is not like a business look. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to take this under my lash line and just kind of do the same thing. Just kind of stamp it on, because I'm doing pink all over the place right now. I just tap in. I'm getting the shadow kind of right on the tip of the brush now, and I'm just kind of stamping it underneath. I'm just kind of taking it under the eye. And then I'm kind of joining it up at the corner too, in a way, so that it kind of is like one cohesive kind of smoky shape, which is rad. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So, like I was saying earlier, I only have a few eyeshadow palettes. I got this is the first one I ever got. I got it 50% off whenever it was on discount at Sephora. and was very happy when it came in the mail. My first eyeshadow palette, and it's like an incredibly high quality palette. I love this palette. I wish that Urban Decay would bring it back. They're out here doing Naked 1, 2, 3, 4, and 500 and Naked Reloaded, but it's like, come on guys, bring back, I wish they would do an Electric Reloaded is what I wish they would do, because we have enough nude palettes, they're everywhere. But I realize that something like the Electric palette is kind of more like maybe makeup artist focused and not necessarily like consumer focused, because like I feel like a majority of people would not wear these colors on a daily basis. But you know what? Just because society frowns on it doesn't mean you have to abide by those rules, okay? Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this. It looks kind of silly right now. But as you can see, I've got like the full-on smoke. I've got my V situation kind of happening over here. It's joined up with the underneath my eyes. And I did everything with this brush. Like I haven't pulled a blending brush in. I haven't pulled anything else in. I'm just kind of going with it. And see, it's giving me like, I don't know. It's probably partly because these shadows are wonderful and partly because I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit. But it just like blends so well. Like Sam and Nick always say when they're doing tutorials with these brushes to let the brush do the work for you. And I could not agree more. You don't have to fight the brush. Just let it work for you. Let it do its thing. All right. Hey, girl. Okay, so I'm going to switch to, this is another Real Techniques brush. This is the brow brush. I actually don't think they do this brush anymore. Focus, come on. I don't think they do this brush anymore. I bought it in like an essential eye set. I think they have a different kind of brow brush, but something I like about this is that, yeah, you can like use it for the brows or whatever, but I always use it as more of an eyeliner brush to kind of place eyeshadow and smoke it, and if I need to bring another brush in later to do some smoking, I will after I put this on. Let me not poke myself in the eye with it, that would be helpful. I'm gonna take Urban, which is the deep purple color, and I'm basically gonna start doing that. I'm gonna load it up just right on the end of my brush. You probably can't even see that. Here we go. What? It's just loaded up on the end. It's not coated on the sides or anything. And I'm basically just gonna start taking it in like along, just kind of stamping it along my lash line. And this requires a little bit more precision. As you can see, I'm not doing it very tidily right now, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to smoke all of this out. It's going to be like a lot of purple happening over here, so it's going to be purple on the lower lash line too. But I do kind of want it to be a little bit thinner as I get inside the eye. And then, okay, I keep, my eyeshadow was over here earlier, so I keep looking back over there, but it's in my hand. It's kind of like when you're talking on your phone, and then you reach in your pocket for your phone, and you panic because you don't know where it is, and then you realize you're holding it in your hand, and it's up to your ear because you're a giant idiot. Or is that just me? I'm going to stamp it along the lower lash line as well, and then we're going to do like a big smoky wing in a minute. Okay, so we've got a situation happening here. Do you see this? Okay, so we're gonna go in on this outside situation over here. And basically I'm just gonna load up the brush again. And it's best for me, if you have hooded eyes, to kind of look straight in a mirror as you do this. And I just start stamping the shadow up. Kind of where I want to place the wing. See how it's like a natural, can you see this? How it's like a natural coming up from the lash line. But I have this fold right here because my eyes are hooded. So something that Sam Chapman does, she has an amazing hooded eyes eyeliner tutorial where she like maps out her shape with a black shadow, but the wing ends up looking ridiculous because it's like when she's looking down, the wing is like huge and it basically has to cut across like half of her eye. It's silly, but it's incredible. It's amazing. And that, I really think that video, because she really taught me how to do winged shadow well for hooded eyes. Because you see all these people that just have this nice little cat eye, but they don't have hooded eyes, so it's a little bit easier for them. So right here is actually, this is not a bad shape. This is actually like a pretty decent wing, and even if I'm looking straight on, you can still kind of see it out there. It's like out there enough, but it's pretty small. Can you see me? Can you see this? But I'm actually going to kick that up a notch. I'm going to really, because I want it to be pretty drastic, because this is more of a similar shape to the Sam Chapman kind of thing, where like, yeah, the wing looks, because it's like when I'm looking at you, I hope this looks okay, like it's kind of covered up, and then obviously if I like close my eyes or look down, it's like huge and it looks ridiculous, but it's very cool. I like the way this looks, so I'm just going to keep kind of going for it. And something that I like about this brush a lot is that it doesn't really look that precise. Like it's kind of densely packed, but it's like a tiny bit fluffy. Like it's not gonna like cut your eyes because it's so sharp, or your eyelids, but you can still get a decent wing. Like this is pretty good. Like, how did I do this? How did I do this? So yeah, so like this is what I call a desirable shape. However, I'm gonna bring in a friend. This is the Essential Crease brush. So we've got this situation, like this is fine, this is good. The only thing that I worry about is that on my eyes when they're hooded, because if I have my eyes closed or like open like this a lot, this purple will start to transfer up here because it's not gonna stay put right here. I mean, maybe if I like blended it really well, it would. But eventually, if I keep my eyes like this purple on my lash line will start to transfer up here, which is kind of problematic. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of that purple and I'm just gonna start kind of smoking this out. I'm gonna try to do this. And as you can see, like, it's no longer, there's no longer like a solid line. It's very smoky now, and I'm actually going to smoke it pretty hard under the lash line as well. I'm really going to kind of go for it here. I'm actually going to smoke this color over a little bit more, like, because it's kind of like stopping right in here, but I actually, when I have my eyes fully open, I want it to be even more visible. So I'm really going to try to bring it over a little bit, like almost into my crease, and really kind of give it some more presence. Not like Christmas presents, but you know what I mean. So then we've kind of got this weird like V thing going on over here where it's kind of like smoked. See, I really kind of feel like I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of playing, just really going for it. See, this is out of control now. This is silly. This is a silly eyeshadow look. And I'm going to take the pink again. I want the pink to have more of a presence on the lower lash line, so I'm going to bring the pink underneath this purple right here. To use this pink to kind of blend out the purple over here too. I just tap a little bit on my brush, and then I just start bringing it in kind of on the outer edge over here. Maybe bring it a little bit up over here, just so that way the purple is kind of surrounded by the pink a little bit to kind of give it a nice transition element. So we've got this pretty nice like gradient situation happening here. I'm not mad about it. Okay, I'm gonna reinforce the pink a little bit in my brow. Just tap a tiny bit and then just bring it up and just kind of sweep. Okay, so I think for the purposes of this video, because it's my first video, it's probably going to be a disaster. I don't really want to edit anything where I have like a million hours of footage. Like, I'm just going to be honest. I'm not expecting this video to be great, so I'm just going to kind of do a short one. I'm just going to do one eye. Maybe if I edit this and it looks fine, I'll go on to do a video with another eye, with both eyes, or, you know, full face or whatever. And full disclosure, I'm not wearing anything on my face. I don't have primer, foundation, anything on. It's literally just sat down, did the eye primer, did the eyeshadow. I maybe will do like a full face look in the future. I just kind of, you know, I'm just testing the waters. Just give me a minute here. I'm just testing the waters. And we'll see how it looks. But this is the look. I hope this looks fine. It's just kind of like a ridiculous kind of pink and purple smoked out look. I only use 3 brushes. I used the Real Techniques medium shadow brush for the pink. I used the Real Techniques brow brush for the purple. And then I used the Real Techniques Essential Crease brush to add some more purple and kind of smoke everything out. So that was everything. It was 2 colors, 3 brushes, and that's it. So again, this was an Urban Decay look with this palette, these 3 brushes. This is my first video, so let me know, do you want to see anything else? I do a lot of colorful makeup. Again, not a trained makeup artist, nothing like that. I just like to have fun. And, you know, I kind of, I don't know, strive for a little bit of a different aesthetic in the makeup I do. Because a lot of, like, I feel like a lot of, unless I'm just not looking in the right places, I feel like I see a lot of, when it comes to men's makeup, it's either full-on glam, where you have that sort of like Instagram makeup look where it's like every step is done. You have foundation, you have concealer, you have powder, you have highlighter, you have cream highlighter, you have powder highlighter, you have contour, you have blush, you have bronzer, you have 15 eyeshadows and huge brows and everything. And that's totally fine if that's the kind of makeup that you want to do, that anybody wants to do. I have no judgment about the kind of makeup you do. But I don't want to do all of that. Like, on a daily basis, if I were doing something, I would just probably wear foundation, powder, bronzer, mascara, maybe. Maybe sometimes I do light liner on my waterline to kind of wake my eyes up a little bit. Maybe some brow gel. I just don't feel like it's necessary for me to do full-on glam makeup, so maybe I can fill that, like, little niche, I don't know, of, like, men who look like me, who don't want to copy and paste the same kind of makeup that really popular female YouTubers are doing. I don't know. It probably sounds really judgmental, and I don't mean it to sound that way, but that's just kind of how I feel about the makeup that I do. But again, 3 brushes, 2 colors. Let me know if you want to see anything else. This is my first video, so of course it's not going to be perfect. It's probably actually going to be a disaster, more likely than not. But that's it. I will see you guys, I don't know if I'll even do another video, but I'm on the internet. If you want to know where to find me, I'll have all my stuff in the description box below. So just let me know, and I think that's that. So take care, guys, and I will see you next time.